Three, two, one. Hey friends, Janky here, and welcome to another episode of Hanging with Janky. It has been a week, friends. It has been a week. There have been summer storms all week. It's been beautiful. Rain, thunder, lightning. I've been reading the Discworld book Weird Sisters, which has a delightful number of Macbeth references in it. And it's just got me all Shakespearean and thoughtful, and I love it. Also, Loot Crate should be coming soon, so I'm excited about that. And I was just like, yeah, this month I'll just order a Loot Crate and then I'll stop. But then they revealed that their new month, June, is going to be Alter Ego with Spider-Man, Marvel, DC, and Transformers. And I'm just like, damn, they pulled me back in. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that stuff gets you happiness, but like cool, geeky, collectible stuff, I really like it. All right, so let's get into it. Channel talk, subs, gaming news. There's so much to discuss. So let's hop in. Dive in, feet first. Live life to the fullest. I apologize for shouting. Okay, so before we get into channel talk today, I just wanted to talk to you guys a bit about a Twitter poll I did recently. I asked you guys just as an idea about cutting channel talk, just because I know Hanging with Janky can run upwards of 20 minutes or more, and I know that that's kind of discouraging for a lot of people to watch, because I know that I make long videos, and I'm sure that that's part of the reason why people don't watch my videos. It's because they're pretty long. So I can't imagine that many people want to sit here and watch them. So I've been working on trying to find ways of sort of trimming things down. One of the ways I want to do that is I want to cut channel talk. Not maybe completely, but certainly down, because it usually takes me about 10 minutes. Obviously today, with this announcement, it's going to take me a while, but hopefully in the future I'll be able to cut the Hanging with Janky video down a bit by trimming that part, because really I take 10 minutes to do what I could probably do in 2. So with that announcement out of the way, let's move on into channel talk, shall we? So I won't tell you guys everything that's going on with the channel over the past week, because obviously you guys see me tweet all the time about the videos that are out. I'm just going to narrow it down to some honorable mentions. So first up, I totally want to plug Janked Up Lore, which is a video. It's part of a series that I do once a month. This month was Final Fantasy VII with Directionally Challenged Games. He was super cool about it. I hope that he liked the video. I really think he did. We had a great time filming it, and I just want to plug that video because we had so much fun doing it, and I just want to share that fun with you guys. It's only like 8 minutes, so it's good stuff. And then the other video I really want to plug is Janky's Lab Bendy in the Ink Machine. If you ever want to see what I'm like playing a horror game, watch Janky's Lab Bendy in the Ink Machine. That will give you all the information you need to know about how I react to being in a horror game situation. It's beautiful. So definitely go check that out. As for what's coming up on the channel, all the same stuff that's always coming up. Got more Janky's Labs for you, got some good games to play, got some Janky Uncensored coming up, going to be asking you guys for some new topics because I need some, and of course there's going to be something else. What will it be? I'm not sure yet, but there will definitely be some other video coming at you this week. So maybe it will be a celebration of 250. We're pretty close. We're pretty close, guys. Which means it's time to move on into thanking subs. All right, we got so many people to thank this week. We are up to 237 subs on the channel, which means that we have gained 4, right? How many did we have last week? 233? Okay, I have 4 people to thank, so let's get to thanking them right now. First up, I want to welcome Game Gods aboard to the Jank Squad. Thank you guys for subbing the channel. I hope that you guys enjoy. Keep on being wonderful, amazing human beings, like I know you are. Next up, I want to thank Hennessy Rain. Oh, she is just so delightful on Twitter, on Discord, just like every time I interact with her, she just seems so sweet. She has a vlogging series she does over on her channel. She calls her followers the Pineapples. it's all super cute, so you should go check her out. And thank you, Hennessy, for subbing the channel and becoming part of the Jank Squad. You are an amazing human being. Keep doing you. Next up, I want to thank the Anarchy Game Show for subbing the channel. They're a super cool trivia-based game show. Definitely go check them out. I will post a link to their YouTube channel down below. But thank you guys so much for subbing the channel. Hopefully one day I may be on your show, if you'll have me, and that'd be cool. But until then, keep being awesome human beings. And last but certainly not least, I send my thanks out to Purple Codex, who's also known on Twitter as Gamer Girl. She's super cool and fun. I love reading her tweets. She's sweet. She is doing a series on Serious Sam right now, as well as Fallout 4. All sorts of good things. Definitely go check out her channel. And thank you so much, for Gamer Girl, for becoming part of the Jank Squad. And keep being just a spectacular, awesome person. Keep doing you, girl. And that's everyone I have to thank this week, but of course, thank you to all 237 members of the Jank Squad. Y'all are awesome. Y'all are beautiful, wonderful, amazing, inspiring human people. Keep being inspiring, you know, those of you who have YouTube channels, which I'm pretty sure is a lot of you, you know, just go out there and keep making a difference and reaching more people. And for those of you who don't have YouTube channels, thank you. Keep making a difference in our lives, being part of our communities and just interacting. And every time you reach out or leave a comment or like or tweet at us or anything like that, I mean, every interaction shapes the direction that a person's life goes. So you are constantly out there changing people's lives every day. Keep doing it because you're amazing and awesome, and I know I use the same adjectives over and over, but I believe it, so. And thank you so much for being part of the Jank Squad. Hope you continue to enjoy the content in the future. Love you guys. All right, mushy mush out the way. So let's move on over into gaming news, shall we? Starting with pew, pew, Quickfire news. I really should add a gun sound effect to that. Wouldn't that be awesome? Oh, God. All right, but seriously, let's get to it, shall we? Starting with, Nintendo's Splatoon manga is getting an English translation. So if you're a fan of Splatoon and you want to hear more lore about it, definitely be ready for the manga coming at us soon. Speaking of supplementary media, Overwatch has announced that they will be having a season 2 of animated shorts, which means we'll get even more supplementary lore. Not to mention that next week on May 23rd, they'll be kicking off the Overwatch anniversary event, which will be super duper cool. Speaking of season 2 of things, For Honor is starting their season 2, launching new maps and classes. That's sweet because I actually really liked For Honor when I tried the beta for it. It's just that I can't afford the game, and I hear that their player base is kind of like sucking it up right now, but that's unfortunate. Hopefully season 2 will be a way for them to gain back some players. Speaking of things that are releasing, Oxygen Not Included has been released into early access. It's a super cool indie game from the makers of Don't Starve. It looks really awesome. I've seen some people play it. I have not played it myself, but definitely check it out if it's the sort of game that you'd be into. Speaking of sweet indie games, Life is Strange, which was an incredibly popular indie game, the studio behind it, Don't Nod Entertainment, has announced that they are making a Life is Strange 2, which is super exciting because that game was awesome, so I'm sure everyone's looking forward to it. And speaking of announcements, E3 has announced their Twitch schedule, so you'll be able to go over to their website and see when all the main events are happening. If you're like me, you'll be sitting at home watching with bated breath as they announce all the things that they're releasing over the course of the next year, which is super duper sweet and awesome and awesome. So that's all I have for Quickfire News. I hope that you guys liked it. What? That was a lame ending. Whatever, fine. Cut to the next thing. Cut to the next thing. All right, so slowing things down a bit, let's go ahead and talk about Destiny 2. There was a big conference about it this past week, and I want to discuss it. Now, I should preface everything I'm about to say with the fact that I didn't play Destiny 1, and that's because I don't have a PS4, so I have no way of playing it. But that being said, I was super excited about the Destiny 2 press conference because Destiny It always kind of looks like a really cool game to me, or it always did look like a really cool game to me. I just couldn't play it. And I was super excited to hear that Destiny 2 would be coming to PC, and the conference for it was just, oh, so cool. So for those of you who don't know a lot about the Destiny franchise, basically, it's a collaboration between Bungie, which is a studio that is owned by Microsoft, and Activision, which is part of the Blizzard family. They came together to develop this awesome RPG space odyssey kind of game that has just been taken up and internalized by so many gamers around the world. It's so cool. It's just about like these people, you play these guardians. To be honest, I'm not really clear on the story because I didn't want to like spoil myself on it, but I should read the story, to be honest, if I'm going to play Destiny 2. But the point is that this game, so many people love it all around the world, and so many people are excited about Destiny 2. So it's really awesome that it already has so much support behind it. And in response to that support, Bungie has introduced all sorts of new things to Destiny 2. They're all about helping the community build itself. So obviously, like I just said, it already has this amazing community behind it. And they've added all these sweet new features, one of them being clans. So clans, of course, are just groups of people who get together and play the game together. It was sort of an unofficial thing in Destiny 1, but now they're making it official in Destiny 2. You can have an in-game clan, you can create banners for them, you can always work as groups, you can do all the high-level raids and everything, just like band together as a community to create these awesome roving groups of heroes, which is just so awesome. And it's more than that too. I say it's more than that because in the original game you also had this end game content that you could only get to if you were part of a group. So it was like these final raids and all of this like end game stuff that you had to have other people to do. And if you were a solo player, you couldn't get to do that stuff. You didn't get to see what that ending was. But now they've introduced this new stuff into Destiny 2 where not only do they have these clans, but they also have areas where single players can find clans that are maybe missing a member for the day, but they want to do the raid, and you've never played the raid because you're a single player kind of person. You can read about the clan and see what they're about, and the clan can read about you and see what you're about, and you can really find people that match your style and your personality, and you can find these people and get together with them and play these raids, and maybe if you guys really like working together, you can become part of their clan, which is awesome. Just all of this community building stuff that they've introduced into Destiny 2 that is just super duper awesome. I love it. I love the concept behind it so much. In addition to that, of course, it looks like it's going to have a really rocking story. Nathan Fillion is one of the voice actors, so I mean, of course it's going to be a rocking story. And the other awesome thing is that it will be exclusive to Battlenet. Okay, maybe awesome was sort of a premature adjective to use to describe the fact that Destiny 2 will be exclusive to Battlenet, but I actually think that for me personally, it'll make it I'll be more likely to play the game because it's a Battlenet exclusive. Let me tell you why. See, for me personally, the thing is with games on Steam, I really like to look through all the games on Steam, but to be honest, there are so many like small indie games that I want to play. They're only like 15, 20, even as low as like $5 or $10, that whenever I see a AAA game that's like 50 or 60, I'm just like, but why would I spend that money when I could have as much fun playing an indie game for much, much less? So whenever I look at those games on Steam, I'm just like, okay, but at the same time, no. And it's not like, you know, those games don't have communities. It's just that even though those communities exist on Steam, most of the communities for those AAA games that are sold through Steam are on like Reddit or on the forums for that game. They don't exist in the world of Steam. I mean, there are Steam communities for those games, but I would say for the most part with AAA games, the communities are located in other places. Whereas with Battlenet, the community is all right there. It's part of the Battlenet forums. I mean, everyone already exists in that space. Not to mention, I'm already a Blizzard fan, so I already play Overwatch, World of Warcraft, Heroes of the Storm. So just adding Destiny 2 to that roster of games on Battlenet that I already play, I feel like it's more likely for me to look at that game and be like, oh, I can just add this to the roster of games that I play. I can just pick this one up right off the bat. Although some people do point out that it's strange because Battlenet is all Blizzard produced games, like Blizzard developed games, I should say. So to add in a game that was mostly developed by Bungie to the Battlenet roster is kind of like, that's strange. I will say one of the funny things that happened at the conference was that Mike Morhaime, who was the Blizzard executive who was announcing that it would come to Battlenet, actually said Battlenet, not Blizzard Launcher. So that kind of made everyone laugh because they're like, oh, so you still call it Battlenet too then, sir? I see. Anyway, those are my thoughts on Destiny 2. If you have anything that you would like to add, of course, feel free to leave that below. But ooh, it was just a really good conference, and if you get a chance, definitely go back and watch the live stream on YouTube because it was good stuff. Okay, since I talked there for a while on Destiny 2, I'm going to leave that as like the big story for the week and move straight on over into the opinion piece, which I want to hear back from you guys about. And this week's opinion piece is all about The Witcher and how it's coming to Netflix. So obviously, The Witcher is a critically award-winning gaming series led to a spin-off game, Gwent, that is incredibly popular in its own right, coming into open beta soon, actually, I think. And just, oh my goodness, just so much praise and all sorts of things coming from The Witcher. What some people might not know, though, is that this critically award-winning game is actually based on a young adolescent book series from Poland. Granted, I don't actually know if The Witcher is a young adult series. I assume that it is. Maybe it's more like an epic novel like Lord of the Rings, although usually Lord of the Rings is in the young adult section of the bookstore, which I don't know how to feel about that, because I feel like it's kind of fantasy for all ages, but whatever. I long ago gave up pretending to understand how bookstores arrange their books, so whatever. So the reason I bring it up is, after doing some reading, it looks like the Netflix series will actually be based on the original series of stories and not the games themselves, which act as sort of like a sequel to the original stories. But this leads to the question that I'm wanting to ask, which is something that I've kind of talked about on Janky Uncensored and also on Twitter with you guys, which is, what do you guys think of video game adaptations in other forms of media? Because aside from this Witcher, I've also heard news about Castlevania becoming a thing, a Netflix series. They've talked for a while about doing something with Zelda that wasn't the awful animated series from, what was it, like the 80s and 90s. And there was that terrible Super Mario Brothers movie. Like, any video game movie adaptation always gets like horribly ragged on, but then there's like the Halo animated movies. I'm just curious because there's so much media out there. What do you guys think whenever a video game gets adapted into a movie or a TV show or a book? I'm curious to hear what you guys think, so let me know. Sound out in the comments below because I'm curious. And that's all the gaming news I have for this week. So I hope you guys enjoyed yet another Hanging with Janky. If you did, you can leave those likes down below, comments positive or negative. As I said, feel free to leave those below as well. But more than anything, I hope you have a lovely day, evening, or whenever you happen to be watching. Thank you so much for watching, and until the next time, this is Janky Shenanigans, signing out. Hey friends, hope that you liked the video. If you did, you can find more of my content in these links off to the side here. And if you really enjoyed it, you can become part of the year of 1,000 subs here on the channel and use that button down below to subscribe. More than that, I hope you have a lovely day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, this is Janky Shenanigans, signing out.